Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Mom Entrepreneur Playbook. My name is Natalie Peterson. I am the host of this show where we talk about all things health and happiness for mom entrepreneurs. And we get into a little bit of business strategy too. That's why I love this podcast so much. And serving all of you in this way is it truly combines all three of my passions: health, happiness, and leadership for women in business. So, we're talking today about upgrading your health and why it matters. Why it matters. So, I think most people that are listening to this show, you already know that your health matters. This isn't brand new information for you. This isn't something that you've never heard before, me making this statement that your health is something that's important. But if you're listening today, I think maybe you need some reminders about why. Why is your health important? And not only that, to get re-inspired and motivated to do something about your health, but also what to do. What do I do? Where do I start? Because you can literally choose from thousands of different options of how to get started. And I think for most people, you're looking for, how do I stay consistent? How do I not only make health a priority, but start to get into these habits that I can use for my lifetime and not just go through that stop, start pattern. And so I want to share with you just a little bit about my background. If you don't know me, I started my career in leadership development, in organizational development, and in the field of helping people be more effective in the workplace. And I loved it. I love the idea of getting to help people strategize on how to make their projects more successful, how to help develop their teammates. And it's something that I love to do to this day. What I was starting to notice when I was running these leadership development weeks, these seminars, these workshops where people were live and we were talking about what was going on in their businesses, is I would notice how much of their personal health, their personal happiness, their well-being came into discussions around leadership and the leadership troubles they were having. So this led me to then say, okay, I need to be able to help people in this way too, from a lifestyle standpoint. So I became an exercise physiologist, a certified nutrition coach, a yoga teacher, and a certified strength and conditioning specialist from the health standpoint. So I want to share that with you just so you know a little bit more about me and why I talk about health and why I feel like I have the background to do so. That's why. And so getting back to our topic though, let's start with a few reminders of why it matters. And perhaps there's something that I'll talk about today that you hadn't thought about before, or maybe you hadn't thought about it in this way, but your health touches every area of your life. So even if you're not a person who is interested in healthy eating or exercise yet, I want to talk a little bit just about how your health impacts your performance. And I'm not just talking about your physical performance. I'm not just talking about if you're still someone who's interested in being an athlete or being somebody who runs races or competes well into their middle age and older age, but it impacts every area of your performance in your life, no matter what your goal is. So if you're someone who is trying to take your business to the next level, trying to launch a successful product, somebody who is has goals in your relationships or in your friendships, or you want to be more involved in your community, it really doesn't matter what the goal is. Your health is going to be something that directly influences your performance. And so that's why you want to make sure that you're eating the most nutritious foods and exercising, moving your body, and also recovering, taking care of yourself. Not just because you want to look good, although there's nothing wrong with that. A little vanity is never hurt anybody. But I think that what gets missed is how much your health impacts your performance outside of the gym. So that's one reason. The other thing is your health directly impacts your outlook and your mood. Your outlook and your mood. So you know the difference in how you feel and how you interact with people on a regular basis when you're in a good mood versus a bad mood. You know how kind you are, you know how creative you are, how dedicated to your work when you're in a good mood versus a bad mood. And when you take care of your health, you just have that going for you in terms of impacting your outlook on life, being a little more positive, the ability to access the positivity based on just the hormonal changes that happen in your body when you're taking care of your health, when you're exercising, when you're eating nutritious foods, and when you're getting the proper rest and recovery. Your outlook and mood change dramatically. Confidence is impacted directly by your health. Again, it's this idea of not only how do you feel, but also perhaps, how is your energy impacted by your health? And if you have low levels of energy, if you're fatigued, if you're feeling not rested most of the time, your confidence is directly impacted or impacting that. As a result, I have someone that I've worked with for a long time, and we talk about their confidence and their energy simultaneously. Like, how's your energy? How much sleep are you getting? And then how's your confidence to deal with the stresses in your life? How's your confidence to deal with problems and things that you're looking to overcome? How are you feeling about yourself? Is directly impacted by your health. If you're dealing with with ill health, with chronic illness, a lot of the time, or if you're dealing with pain, if you've been injured, or if you just have chronic pain from overuse injuries or things like that, it really impacts your outlook, your mood, and also your confidence going into just your daily tasks of living. I know personally, I can share that I've talked a lot about my postpartum journey with my second daughter, and my confidence up until I'd say 2 months ago, maybe 3 months ago, to just physically go about my day was the lowest it's ever been for me. And that affected me in so many ways emotionally. It made me angry and frustrated, but also made me a little bit fearful that I could do something to injure myself or hurt myself. And so when you're walking around like that all the time, it becomes a vicious circle almost too, because you're afraid to move, and then the less you move, the less you are able to do the things you want to do physically, then it impacts your strength, and you go round and round. So just your ability to move with confidence is important throughout your life too. And then lastly, your ability to meet or to reach the next levels in your life. So I talked a little bit about this in terms of performance and your goals, but if you're battling with your health right now, and some of those things are outside of your control, but if you're battling with your health right now and there are things you can do about it, start here. If you're looking to do something else, to reach another level in your business, in your life, in your performance, maybe it is about performance on the court, or performance when you're physically active, or things you want to do with your kids. Your ability to reach any next level you have, any breakthrough that you want, is determined by your physical well-being. And so we start with health for that reason. In the last episode, I talked about your happiness, how to upgrade it, and why it's important. And similar to happiness, your health isn't just a nice to have, it's a must have. So in the last episode, I talked about this idea of, well, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I get that next promotion. I'll be happy when I'm making the amount of money I want to make. I'll be happy when my kids go off to college, or when I reach this goal that I have. And we always put our happiness off into the future. And I think that a lot of people do that with their health too, that I'll take care of myself when. And so I want you to think about that for a moment. And are you one of those people that puts their health off because you're too busy right now, or you don't know that you can afford to invest in the things you need to invest in right now currently to get yourself to a place where you feel physically strong and healthy? Your health is a must-have. Don't wait. Don't wait. You won't get to this place in your life where you've reached the goals that you have, and then all of a sudden your health is going to be there. We have to take care of it every single day, starting now. So when I talk about health, I am referring to several different things. I'm talking about illness and injury. So with illness, this could be, are you a person who gets sick a lot? Are you somebody who is chronically just like always got that cold, or always getting the flu every year? Perhaps you're someone who is dealing with a chronic illness, something that maybe is onset outside of your control, and you're kind of doing things to manage it now. So that's one area of illness. Another part of health, and also kind of goes along with illness or pain, would be injury. So are you dealing with pain right now? Did you get injured? Are you dealing with chronic back pain or neck pain or knee pain? Anything that is just nagging at you all the time and impacting your overall outlook and mood, or your general confidence about moving around. Then we look at also our energy. So how do you wake up every morning? How is your ability to just get the things done that you need to do. And then lastly, I also love to talk about how's your strength? How's your cardio and mobility? Like physically, how physically fit are you has something to do with your health or is related to your health. And, everybody has their own goals for how physically strong or physically mobile or fast you want to be. But think about it and really look at your life and what demands are placed on you right now. And are you meeting them physically? Are you up to that physical challenge? Or are you doing the things you want to be doing? So this summer, I want to be playing volleyball again. I don't think I'll get back to Hoops on Howard this year. I don't think I'm quite ready for basketball. And maybe basketball is something that is just something of the past for me. I'm not really sure. But what I do know is it's not for me this year, but I do physically want to be ready to play volleyball. And so given that goal of mine, how physically strong and fast, mobile and balanced I need to be to play that sport, that helps set a lot of my physical fitness goals. So think about it for you. Are you where you want to be? There is no wrong answer to that. Just because I want what I do doesn't mean that everybody else is going to want that, or doesn't mean that they would settle for not being able to play basketball. So there's people that have more physical goals than me, and then there's going to be people that don't necessarily need to do what I want to do. So you think about it personally for you and what's important, and that rolls into the last one, which is your body at the physical state that you desire. You, not somebody else telling you, not feeling judgment or feeling like you have to compare yourself to other people. Sometimes a doctor steps in and gives you some medical advice as far as your physical state, and that's important to listen to. Getting your labs done, checking your blood pressure, knowing from a statistical standpoint where your charts are and your labs are, that's important. But is your body in the physical state that you desire? And if it's not, what are the things that you can do? And so that's how I want to end this, is I want to talk for a few minutes about what can you do? Because as I said, there's so many things. And if you're like me, your life is really full. And so you've got a lot to do. And how do I start to implement health as a priority in my life, as a must-have instead of just a nice to have? And there's 4 things that I always talk about. It's walking, water, breathing, and sleeping. So walking, minimum 10 minutes a day, get outside every single day. There's a woman who at the start of the pandemic has walked up and down our street. We live in northern Minnesota, by the way. She's walked up and down our street 3 times a day for an entire year. Rain, shine, snowstorm, whatever it is, she is out there. You can do it too. So walking 10 minutes a day and getting out in the sunshine, that's one thing you can do. By the way, I have 4 things. I want you to just pick one. This is how you get started, or this is how you, even if you're exercising now or eating pretty well now, I want you to pick one of these things because it can take you to that next level. So walking, water, drinking water, making sure that's a priority, making sure that you're hydrated. It is so important to make sure that you're aiming for about half your body weight in fluid ounces of water a day. For some of you, that change alone would completely transform your energy, completely transform your physical body. It would get rid of some of your joint pain. There's so much power in being hydrated. So that's one thing you could start with. The next one is breathing. So this is kind of the physical act of pausing and taking deep breaths, making sure that your breath isn't getting stuck, because you can reverse your blood pressure just with breath work alone. I've seen people do it. I've helped people do it. Taking time to pause and take a few deep breaths every single day throughout the day can lower your blood pressure. Not only that, lowers your stress, gives you a little bit more peace and calm. So is that the one thing that you need? The last thing out of the 4, you're going to pick just one, is to prioritize sleep. Sleeping 7 to 9 hours every single night. That is what research has told us. The requirement for sleep doesn't go drastically low just because we're in our 30s, 40s, and 50s. The science shows that 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night is the target. Sure, there are outliers. There are some of you who really, truly only need that 5 or 6 hours that your body can function optimally with just that. But if there's people that need less, that means there's also people who need more as well. And so you look at a equal distribution bell curve. Most of us need 7 to 9 hours of sleep every single night. Now, notice I didn't say get 7 to 9 hours. I said prioritize sleep, because that's the first thing you need to do. If you're not sleeping enough now, the first thing you can do to get more sleep is to prioritize it. And the easiest way to do that is to simply look at the math of how long do you need to be in bed? 7 to 9 hours. Okay, when do I need to be up in the morning? Do the math, backtrack from there. That's when you need to be sleeping, and just make time in your life to get that amount of sleep. So many people aren't able to do that right now, or aren't doing that right now, but you can do your best by just prioritizing it in your life. So pick one of those things: walking, water, breathing, sleeping. No matter which one you pick, it's going to help you. It's going to help your energy. It's going to help your stress. It's going to help your blood pressure. It's going to upgrade your health. I promise you that. So start there. I always tell people to start small, because we get better over time with incremental change. We get better little by little. A mentor of mine always talks about 1% better, and I pass that along wherever I go, because you don't want to try to make big sweeping changes. Some of you, I'm sure, are listening right now and you're saying, well, I can do all 4 of those things. I can do the water, the walking, the breathing, the sleeping. I'm going to do it all. And there's nothing wrong with big goals. Believe me, I love setting big goals, having big dreams and visions, and I want you to have that too. But you have to lay a foundation. So don't go from doing nothing or none of those things I mentioned to trying to do all of them. That's a recipe for failure. I want you to set yourself up for success. Do just one thing until it's habit, until it's easy, until you don't have to really try anymore. It's just part of your routine. So focus on just one thing. Focus on just getting 1% better, and your health is going to slowly and steadily increase and improve. I heard recently this idea of the difference between a microwave and a crock pot approach to health. That so often we look at this, what is the quick fix? What is this microwave approach? I can just do something for a couple weeks and I can be back on track. Versus this 1% better, doing the little things on a consistent daily basis until I achieve the goals that I have. That's the crock pot approach. The slow and steady, the slow is smooth, smooth is fast. It'll get you where you want to go, is the crock pot approach. Now, the microwave may get you there a lot more quickly, but think about the food that comes out of the microwave versus what comes out of the crock pot. And it's the same for your health. So I encourage you, pick just one thing. Next week, I'm going to share a little bit about my own health and happiness journey, especially in the last year, where I'm at, what I've been doing, what I've learned, and I bet it can help you too. So tune in next week. And this is the part of the show where I want to ask you to subscribe down below. Subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review. Let me know what you think. And you can also email the show at momentrepreneurplaybook@gmail.com. I would love to hear from you, and make some requests about some episodes. I am always down to change up the conversation based on what you're interested in. So that's it. Have a great day, and we'll see you next week.